Okay, class! Welcome back. So, next topic, audit of cash and cash equivalents. Okay. So, again, nandito na tayo sa round 2. Okay, for cash and receivables. Okay, so problem number 1. Let's review the composition of cash and cash equivalents. Okay, so this is a classic problem in the audit of cash and cash equivalents. Okay, so given are the following. Okay, so given in the trial balance, okay, are the following. So, ang main requirement dyan, yung total cash and cash equivalents. Okay? So, part of the requirements, yan, adjusted cash on hand, petty cash, BPI, current account. Okay? Tapos yung total. Okay, so number 1, in relation to cash on hand. Let's start from here. Start from unadjusted. Okay, so unadjusted cash on hand. Additional information in relation to cash on hand. So this one, cash on hand includes the following. So let's see if included properly. A, customer's check for 60,000. Returned by bank December 26. Reason, insufficient fund. Subsequently redeposited and cleared by the bank January 8. So, na-clear lang January 8. So, ang status niya at December 31, NSF. So, included in cash on hand minus the NSF check of the customer. So, NSF siya as of December 31. Letter B, customer's check for 30,000, post-dated. Received December 29. So, included in cash on hand. So, minus the PDC received. Okay, letter C, properly included the adjustment. Okay, so postal money orders, included properly. So, unadjusted, adjustments as adjusted. Okay, so number 1, letter A. Okay, 1, letter A. Now, for emphasis, gawa tayo ng adjusting entries. Okay, so adjusting entries. As of December 31, anong classification yung NSF check and PDC na yan of the customer? Okay, accounts receivable. So, adjusting entry. Debit, accounts receivable. Credit, cash on hand. So, erroneously included in cash on hand. Next. Number 2, petty cash fund. Again, ang petty cash yan ha. Kaya kung ibibigay sa atin yung composition, alam mo na gagawin. Include, exclude. Cash include, not cash exclude. So, composition of petty cash fund given. So, include, exclude. Okay, currency and coins include. That is cash. Employees, vales. Ano ba yung vales na yan? Yan. So, IOUs yan. Mga IOUs yan. Diba? Pag may nangungutang sa'yo, pabali naman. Yan. Bale yan. Okay? IOUs yan. IOUs. Okay? Exclude yan. Hindi yan cash. Receivable yan. Currency in an envelope Mark collections for charity. Exclude. Personal funds yan of the employees. Unreplenished petty cash vouchers. Exclude. Normally, expenses yan. Check drawn by the company. Payable to the petty cashier. Silent. Again, kapag silent at ang cheque ay payable kay custodian, replenishment check. Include. Replenishment check. So, cash included in petty cash at December 31. So, number 2, letter A. Notice, it's already year-end and the fund is not yet replenished. So, we need to adjust. Okay, adjusting entry. Per trial balance, petty cash fund is 10,000, ha? Okay, per trial balance, 10,000 yung petty cash. So, should be 6,700 only. So, ito yung adjusted, 6,700. Get the difference. So, decrease petty cash by how much? 3,300. Per trial balance, 10,000. Should be 6,700. Decrease by 3,300. And again, yan ang dapat ma-account ng custodian. Nabawasan ang petty cash ng 3,300. Why? Dapat ma-explain yan properly. Reasons provided by the custodian. This one. Employees, vales, mga IOUs, mga cash advances ng employees, debit, advances to officers and employees. Valid reason. What else? This one. The unreplenished petty cash vouchers, expenses. Okay. What else? No other reasons provided. Again, yung hindi ma-account ng custodian, yung hindi ma-explain, short or over yun. And in this case, dahil debit yung difference, shortage. Short by 900. So, one way to get short or over, gawan mo ng entry. So, yung hindi ma-account, okay, short or over. Okay, so next. Number 3, BPI, current account. Start from unadjusted. So, refer to the trial balance. Unadjusted. Okay, per trial balance. Information about the BPI account. Included among the checks drawn by the company against this account. And naka-record na. Ano ibig sabihin? Naka-deduct na yung A and B. So, na-deduct na yan, ha? Yung A and B. So, A, check written and dated December 29. Delivered to payee only on January 2. So, as of December 31, hindi pa na-release yung cheque. So, unreleased check. No payment yet. Still part of cash. So, add 50,000. Undelivered, unreleased check. No payment yet. Letter B. Check written December 27. Post-dated. Delivered already to pay December 29. So, dahil post-dated yung cheque, wala pang payment. So, still part of cash. So, add 86,000. Okay? So, part pa ng cash yan and accounts payable. As adjusted. Okay, number 3. Letter A. Okay, adjusting entry. Again, yung undelivered check, post-dated check issued, still part of cash. And accounts payable. Adjusting entry. Debit, cash in bank, particular account, BPI. Total, credit accounts payable. Now, let's get the total. Cash and cash equivalents. So again, refer to the trial balance. Okay. Given in the trial balance are the following. As noted in number 1, cash on hand as adjusted. So refer to number 1. Petty cash, number 2. BPI current account, number 3. So as computed earlier, adjusted cash on hand, petty cash fund, okay, BPI current account, include. Okay, security bank current account, number 1, 1280. Number 2, same bank, overdraft. So may additional information regarding this overdraft. So this one. Second to the last sentence. The credit balance in security bank current account number 2 represents checks drawn in excess of the deposit balance. These checks were still outstanding at December 31, 2020. So this is only to emphasize that account number 2 is already overdrawn. Okay? At dahil same bank yan, that can be offset. Okay? So include 1280 minus 40. So net of the bank overdraft. So include. Next, the PNB savings account. Okay, refer to the last paragraph. So may information dyan sa savings account na yan. The savings account deposit in PNB has been set aside by the board for acquisition of new equipment. So ito palang savings account na yan, pangbili ng equipment. Okay, regardless of the date of acquisition, this cash is not available for payment of current obligations. So, dahil pangbili yan ng non-current asset, excluded yan from cash. So, reported as what? Non-current investment. Fund for acquisition of PPE. So, non-current investment yan. Exclude. Okay, the time deposit, silent. Again, kapag silent, normally, ang time deposit, cash equivalent. Include. Get the total. So, line item, cash and cash equivalents as adjusted. Okay, number 4, letter A. Okay, for letter A. Now, some pointers in the audit of cash. Okay, number 5. Which of the following balance-related audit objectives typically is assessed as having high inherent risk for cash? Again, ang cash, bearer instrument, easily misappropriated. Okay? Kaya normally, ano ang concern natin sa cash? Whether cash is what? Existing. Okay? So, kaya answer dyan, letter A. In terms of existence, okay, ang cash, high ang inherent risk niyan. Okay? So, yan ang usually concern. Totoo bang may cash yan? Nag-i-exist ba yung cash? Okay, 5, letter A. Number 6. The general cash account is considered a significant account in almost all audits. And that is the letter B, bravo. Even when the ending balance is immaterial. Why? As discussed previously doon sa ating FAR topic sa cash and cash equivalents, halos lahat ng transactions will enter the general cash account. Either may inflow or outflow of cash. Kaya kahit immaterial yung ending, okay, baka significant yung transactions during the period. Kaya yung general cash account na yan, significant yan. Regardless of the ending balance. Okay? So, number 6. Bravo. Okay, so that's review of the composition of cash and cash equivalents. Now, let's audit cash on hand. Okay, problem number 2. A classic problem in the audit of cash. Number 1. Computation of shortage or overage, if any. Number 2, the usual requirement, adjusting entries. The rest, some audit pointers in the audit of petty cash fund. Okay, now, in relation to requirement 1, paano nga ba mako-compute yung short or over na yan? Okay, so, some pointers. To get cash short or over, compare cash accountability with the cash and cash items counted. So, dapat yung accountability at yung na-account the same. If not, yun, short or over yun. If the accountability is higher than the items counted, may hindi na-account. Kulang yung na-account, short. The opposite, over. So, pag magkaiba yung accountability at yung items counted, either short or over yan. Okay, of course, ang issue dyan, anong kasama sa accountability at yung items counted. So, yan ang issue. Now, in this problem, dahil ito ay audit of cash on hand, yung accountability, pwede mo lagyan ng note. Ito yung should be. The cash that should be on hand. So, based on the available info, yan yung dapat. Tapos itong items counted, ito yung actual. So, nung in-inspect na, ito yung nakita lang. Okay? So, dapat yung should be at yung actual, the same. So, if not, short or over. Okay? So, in this problem, establish muna natin yung actual. Then, in the process of determining yung actual, okay, ma-establish natin yung should be based on the available information. Okay? So, ito muna ang actual. Mag-cash count muna tayo. Okay, here's the background. In connection with the audit of the FS of Rupee, take note of the name of the client. So the client is Swerte Company. For the year ended December 31, 2020, you perform a surprise count. Yan. Cash count ang ginamit na procedure. So ano yung in-inspect? Petty cash fund and undeposited collection. So take note So ang in-inspection dyan yung petty cash at yung mga collections na hindi pa na-deposit. Under the custody of, take note of the custodian, Miss Jessie. Time of count, 8:15 a.m. Date of count, January 2. Now, anong implication ng date and time? January 2, most likely, ito yung first day of business. Okay? At dahil 8:15 a.m. pa yan, maaga pa yan. Wala pang transactions niyan. So, ibig sabihin, okay, yung mai-inspect ng auditor dyan on that date, yun din yung existing at December 31. So, take note, ang gustong ma-establish dyan yung December 31. Ang nangyari dyan, hindi nakapag-inspect ng December 31, ginawa yung procedure subsequent date. Okay? Kaya yung na-inspect on that date, yun din ang existing at December 31. Kaya medyo matrabaho yan kung na-late yung auditor. Yung pagdating doon, may mga transactions na. Magwo-work back analysis tayo. Yung na-inspect at the time of count, tatanggalin yung transactions before the count para ma-establish yung December 31. So, dito, mabuti na lang. Okay? Okay, maaga pa. So, wala pang transactions. And your count, ikaw pala yung auditor dyan, no? Okay? Your count disclosed the following. Yan. So, ito yung cash box. Yung cash drawer. Okay? So, of course, in actual practice, meron kang tinatawag na cash count sheet. So, doon sa cash count sheet na yon, maglalagay ka lang doon, fill in the blanks. Okay? So, ito yung mga na-inspection daw doon sa cash drawer. So, actual muna tayo ha. Actual. Include, exclude. Bills and coins, include yan. Get the total. Denomination times the number of pieces. Okay, so denomination times the number of pieces. So, pag tinotal mo yan, eto siya. Bills and coins. Total. Okay, 7528. Now, may nakitang unused postage. Okay, dyan sa cash drawer. Now, include ba yan or exclude? Kasi kung may unused postage, pwedeng masabi, evidence yan na nagkaroon ng disbursement. So, instead na bills and coins ang makita, stamps na. Kasi ginamit na yung bills and coins. Okay? So, include ba yan or exclude? Depende yan kung meron ng voucher. So, refer to the vouchers. Again ha, ang ini-inspect natin dyan, petty cash fund and undeposited collections. So, yung sa petty cash, eto yon. Meron ng voucher pala para sa postage. Kaya ang gagawin natin dito sa unused, exclude na yan. Just include the voucher. Kasi pag in-include yung voucher, in-include pa itong postage, magdo-double count. Okay? So, exclude na yan. Just include the voucher. As part of, just include the voucher. Pero take note, okay, hinighlight dito na at December 31, meron pang hindi nagamit. Kaya itong 3240 na ito, hindi lahat yan expense. So, meron pang unused. Isi-set up natin later yan dun sa ating adjusting entries. Okay? Next, checks. Include, exclude na muna tayo. Mamaya na tayo mag-analyze kung para saan yung check na yan. Okay, include, exclude. Pay to cash, include. Mamaya na yung analysis. Pay to the company. Kapag silent ang problem, kapag yung cheque ay payable sa company, ang assumption dyan, collections yan. So, pay to the company, include. Okay, pay to German corporation. The drawer is the company. Okay, exclude yan. Hindi yan part ng cash on hand. Saan related yung cheque na yan? Cash in bank. Ang ini-inspect natin yung on hand. Hindi yan on hand. In bank yan. Okay, pero dahil nandito pa yung cheque, ibig sabihin, hindi pa na-release yung cheque. So, lagyan mo to ng note ha. Unreleased check. Okay, so unreleased check yan. Okay, so consider that later ha, in the adjusting entries. So, pero hindi siya part ng cash on hand. So, get the total. Mamaya natin yan i-analyze. Okay, total. Checks counted. 85,960. Okay, so, eto yung cash counted. Now, pwedeng wala na yung cash kasi nagamit na. Ito yon, yung vouchers. Okay, now, we need to know kung kailan yung last replenishment. Ha? So, by the way, kapag silent, pag nakita mo yung mga vouchers na yan sa cash box, ang assumption dyan, unreplenished. Okay, so kapag silent unreplenished yan. Kasi kapag na-replenish na yan, wala na yan sa cash box. Pero dito sa problem, okay, Refer to the next page. Yung last item, letter C, on the next page. Magkano daw yung petty cash fund? 20,000 yung petty cash. And yung last replenishment daw was made December 22. So notice, kung ang last replenishment ay December 22, lahat ito ay dated after that. So confirm, hindi pa nga ito na-replenish. Get the total. Evidence yan of disbursements. Kaya hindi na natin nakita yung bills and coins kasi nagamit na. Get the total. Okay, cash items yan. So, hindi mga cash yan, pero evidence of disbursement of cash. Total, unreplenished, petty cash, fund, vouchers. Okay, get the total. Yan na yung actual. Actual cash and cash items. Get the total. So, this one, total. So, ito yung actual. Now, establish natin yung should be. Okay, the cash accountability. And that is the cash that should be on hand. Based on available info, magkano dapat yung on hand? Kasi ito yung actual eh. Magkano dapat? Okay. As noted already, may petty cash. Ano ang nature ng petty cash? Cash on hand. At magkano yung petty cash fund? 20,000. So, one of the items, okay, petty cash. Dapat, okay, dahil may petty cash na 20, pag nag-inspect tayo ng cash, in-expect natin makita yung 20. Either in bills and coins or in the form of what? Vouchers. Okay, what else? As noted earlier, kasama sa ini-inspect dyan yung undeposited collections. Refer to the additional info, letter B, this one. Yung last OR daw, included in the deposit on December 30 is number 351. Yung last OR issued, 355. So, kung ang last OR na naisama sa deposit ay 351, lahat ito hindi pa na-deposit yan. At dahil hindi pa na-deposit, nasan yung pera or yung cheque? Nandoon sa office. Cash on hand yan. Get the total. Okay, get the total. Undeposited collections. Accountability yan. Kasi nasa office pa eh. Based on what? OR. So, per OR, ang total, this one. Undeposited collections. Notice, dalawa cheque, oh. Ito, dalawa yung cheque. Okay, isang 35,600 at isang 16,600. Now, kung yung mga collection na yan ay hindi pa na i-deposit, dapat nandun yan sa nakita nating cheque kanina. So, check nga natin kung nagta-tie up. Kasi hindi pa siya na-deposit eh. Dapat in the office pa, on hand pa yung cheque na yan. So, let's see. Go back to the checks counted earlier. Ayun, confirm. Itong 35,600, lagyan mo to ng note. Yan ay collection, ang OR number niya, 353. Ito, confirm na rin. So, OR number, 355. Okay? So, confirm. Collections nga ito. Di ba sabi natin kanina, kapag silent, kapag payable sa company, collection. At ito, confirm. So, ito yung OR number. So, accounted for na itong dalawa. Collections nga yan. At dahil hindi pa na-deposit, tama nga naman, nandiyan pa yung check eh. Kasi hindi pa na-deposit. So, nagta-tie up, no? Yung mga information natin. Now, the other checks. Yung 2,400, pay to cash. Sino ang drawer? Miss Jessie. Sino nga si Miss Jessie? As noted in the first paragraph, ito yung custodian. Now, this will require further investigation. Bakit nag-issue ng cheque ang custodian payable to cash? Okay? So, kaya lang silent na yung problem. Wala nang ibang binigay na information. So, dahil silent ang problem, ang magiging assumption dyan, accommodated check. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Okay, nagpapalit yung custodian from the collections or petty cash. Dapat yung 2-4 na yan, nasa bills and coins yan. Nagpapalit siya. Pinalitan niya ng cheque. Kaya instead na dito natin makita, napasama sa cheque. So, accommodated check. Again, okay, for control purposes, hindi dapat yan. So, we need to take note of that. Pero sa accounting, walang problema. Kasi whether bills and coins or cheque, pareho lang ng treatment sa accounting yan. Cash. So, kaya tama lang yung included. So, yun nga lang, take note na dapat hindi ginagawa yan. Okay? Next. 28,000. Pay to cash. Or rather, pay to the company. Ang drawer, si Robert. Question. Sino si Robert? Sino si Robert? Okay. Hindi pinakilala si Robert. Hindi katulad ni Miss Jessie. May description siya. Siya yung custodian. Si Robert, sino yan? Silent. Dahil hindi pinakilala si Robert, ang assumption natin dyan, customer yan. Kasi payable sa company. So, kung customer si Robert, ano itong 28,000? Collection yan. Collection. Pero notice, walang OR. Okay? Kaya lalagyan mo to ng note. Collection without OR. And normally, if unreceipted, unrecorded. Kaya adjusting entry to mamaya. Okay? Kasi normally, kapag unreceipted, unrecorded yan. Hindi na-record yung collection na yan. Pero kahit hindi na-record yan, collection pa rin yan. At dahil nandito pa sa office yung cheque, parang ito rin yun. Undeposited collection. Yun nga lang, without OR. Pero accountability pa rin yan. Kasi nandito pa sa office yung cheque. Kaya isama mo yan ha, lagay mo dyan. Undeposited collection without OR. So, pareho lang siya nung with OR. Okay? Hindi pa na-deposit. Nasaan yung pera? Nandun pa sa office. Still on hand. Okay? Next. Isa na lang yung hindi natin na-account dyan. Balikan yung cheque. Ito ulit yung mga cheque. Isa na lang ang naiwan. 3,360. Pay to the company. Sino naman ang drawer? Si JR. Sino naman si JR? This time, may description. JR is sales manager. Teka muna. Pag nakita mo yan, okay, sa inspection mo ng cash box or ng cash drawer, anong iisipin mo dyan? Bakit si JR nag-issue ng cheque payable sa company? Malamang may utang to sa company o kaya may cash advance. At yun nga, confirm, refer to the vouchers. Ayun, nagta-tie up. December 23, ito si JR, nag-cash advance. Pero may official function pala. Pupunta sa Baguio. Siguro a-attend ng sales conference. Now, nag-advance si JR ng 14. Nag-issue siya ng cheque ng 3,360. So, anong ibig sabihin yan? Malamang, yung 3,360 na yan, yan yung hindi nagamit. Isinoli niya. Of course, sa accounting, anong concern natin dyan? Ang concern natin dyan, 14 ang in-advance. Ang isinoli, 3,360. Saan ginamit yung difference? Kailangan ma-account yun. Okay. At anong hihingin natin kay custodian? Anong document ang kailangan natin para malaman natin kung saan napunta yung difference? Hihingin natin yung tinatawag na liquidation report. Okay? So, doon nakadetalye kung saan ginamit yan. And in this problem, given yung liquidation report, nandun sa letter B, other items found inside the cash box. Ito yon. Ito yung ginawang report ni JR. So, check nga natin kung paano ginastos ni JR yung 14,000. So, nag-cash advance ng 14. Okay, spent as follows. Hotel accommodation, 9,000. Bus fare for 2. Ay, may kasama si JR. Okay? At sinong kasama ni JR? Ayun, si Roy. May kasama si JR, si Roy. Teka muna, sino si Roy? Si Roy, salesman. So, alalay ng sales manager. Yan. Pero notice. Itong 9,000, clear yan, hotel accommodation yan. Yung 800, clear din yan, bus fare. Ang tanong, bakit binigyan ni JR si Roy ng 600? Para saan yung 600 na yan? Okay? So, wala nang ibang binanggit. Baka yan ay service charge. Siguro syempre para sa mga miscellaneous expenses yan. Mga refreshments and others yan. Alalay service charge yan. Okay, sa mga miscellaneous items yan. Pero notice itong si Roy hindi magastos yan. So, ibinalik ni Roy yung 240 kay JR. So, ibig sabihin, dyan sa 600 na yan, hindi lahat yan nagamit. For accounting purposes, kunin mo yung difference. Yan. For accounting purposes, kunin mo yung difference. Ang nagastos lang, 600 minus 240. Dapat, 360 lang yan. So, yung correct travel expense, eto lang dapat. Yan lang yung talagang nagastos. Okay? So, yung difference, yun ang dapat isinole ni JR. Okay? So, hindi siya naisole. Rather, ito yung dapat isole ni JR. Magkano lang yung isinole ni JR? Yan, 3,360 lang. Okay? So, kaya yung difference, hindi pa siya na-liquidate. So, may balance pang 480. So, ang nangyari dyan, okay, inakala ni JR na yung 240 na ibinalik ni Roy, personal savings niya na. Okay? Kasi nabigyan niya nga naman 600. Sinoli sa kanya. So, tinreat niya na as personal savings. Kaya lang sa accounting, hindi dapat. Dapat isinoli din yan sa company. Okay? Kaya take note of this, Yung 480 na yan, accountability yan of the sales manager. So, i-consider natin yan later sa adjusting entry. So, meron pang portion na hindi na-liquidate. Yan. Unliquidated pa yung 480. Okay? Now, yung 14,000 na yan, cash advance, in effect, receivable yan Kaya kung isinoli ni JR yung 3,360, in effect, collection yan. Pero dahil nandyan pa yung cheque, ano yung 3,360? Undeposited pa rin. Kaya another accountability ito. Kasi parang collection to So, undeposited collection. Representing excess cash advance. So, kaya another accountability yan. So, itong tatlo na ito, pareho sila ng nature. Hindi pa na-i-deposit. So, kaya nasan pa yung cheque? Okay? Asan pa yung cash? Nandun pa, on hand. Nasa office pa. Accountability yan. Okay? Then, based on your further inspection of the cash box, may nakita pa. Yan. This one. Other items found inside the cash box. Letter A. 2 pay envelopes which had been opened and the contents aggregating 15,000 representing unclaimed salaries had been removed. So, ang nangyari, Nung chinek pa yung cash box, uy, may nakita. Pay envelopes. Kaya lang, ang problema, envelopes na lang. Wala na yung 15,000. Now, syempre, pag nakita natin yan, anong concern natin? Ang concern natin dyan, nasaan na yung 15,000 para ma-account natin properly. Okay? So, we need to ask the custodian. So, by the way, yung inquiry is an audit procedure extensively used throughout the audit. By nature, ang auditors, matatanong yan eh. Kasi paano ka makakakuha ng information kung di ka magtatanong? Okay? Kaya by nature, medyo matanong ang mga auditor. Okay? Kaya minsan nakakainisan ng ng client. Tanong ng tanong eh. Siyempre, kailangan magtanong kasi para makakuha ng info. Okay? So, kailangan tanongin natin dyan yung custodian. Oy, custodian. Okay? Nasaan na yung 15,000? So, we need to ask what happened. Kasi nakita natin envelopes na lang eh. Concern natin, saan napunta yung 15? Now, pag tinanong natin yung custodian, oy, custodian, nasaan na yung 15,000? May nakita ko ditong envelopes eh, pero walang laman. Pwedeng sasabihin ng custodian, alam mo yung 15,000 na yan, unclaimed salaries yan. Alam mo naman, di ba? Ang unclaimed salaries, risky yan. At dahil risky yan, pwedeng sabihin ng custodian, itinago ko yan sa ligtas na lugar. Nasaan yung ligtas na lugar na yun? Nasa bulsa ko yan. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Yung 15,000 pala, naka-safeguard naman naka-segregate naman pala. Pagka ganun ang nangyari, hindi siya nakasama sa cash sa items counted, wag mo ding isama sa accountability. Okay? Kasi sinegregate niya properly. Sinafeguard niya, nilagay niya sa bulsa niya. So, ibig sabihin, hindi siya nahalo doon sa cash. Kaya wag mong isasama sa accountability niya kasi nakasegregate properly. Okay? What if? Nung tinanong mo yung custodian, ang sabi niya, ay, yung 15 na yan, kinapos kami kasi year-end na. Anyway, absent naman sila, hindi naman sila nakarating, nung magdi-distribute ng payroll, kailangan namin ng pangbayad, ginamit na namin yung 15. Anong ibig sabihin? Na isama siya doon sa bills, doon sa items counted. So, dahil nagamit siya, isasama mo din siya sa accountability. Kasi nandito siya sa items counted. So, again, kung hindi nakasama yan doon sa items counted, out din yan sa accountability. Pero kung nagamit siya, isasama mo yan sa accountability. Okay? Kaya yung treatment dyan, depende kung anong ginawa ng custodian dyan. Okay. Kaya lang, ito ang problema. Okay? Nung tinanong mo yung custodian, oy, custodian, nasa na yung 15,000? Biglang namula yung custodian. Hindi nakapagsalita. Anong ibig sabihin? Dahil hindi nakapagsalita yung custodian, the problem is silent. Nanahimik na lang yung custodian. Tinatanong mo, ayaw na magsalita. Okay? Paano na yan? Katulad nung nangyari sa problem. Hindi sinabi kung anong nangyari sa 15. Basta sinabi lang, may pay envelope wala nang laman. Nasa na yung 15? Dahil silent ang problem, ang assumption dyan, nagamit yan. Nagamit yung 15. At dahil nagamit yan, isasama natin yan sa accountability. Okay? So, kaya lalagay mo dito, another accountability yan. Unclaimed salaries. Ang assumption, nagamit siya kasi silent. Okay, now, meron pa ba? Wala na tayong makitang other items dyan. So, kunin mo na yung total. Anong ibig sabihin ng mga ito? Based on the available info, may petty cash. May mga collections na hindi pa nakadeposit. Mayroong salaries hindi pa na-claim. Lahat yan still in the office. Get the total. Yan yung should be. Yan yung dapat makita natin at the time of count. Total. Kaya lang, ito lang ang pinakita ng custodian. Ito yung dapat based sa nakita nating info. Ito lang yung actual. Nasaan na yung iba? Missing. So, the difference, estimated shortage. Hindi na ma-explain kung nasaan. Okay, so answer to requirement number 1. Yan. Short. Okay, of course, maraming dahilan yan. Bakit nawawala yan? So, isa dyan, pwedeng na misappropriate yan. Or, in some cases, hindi lang maingat sa documents yung custodian. May mga binayaran, di niya ma-prove. Wala kasing document walang resibo. So, kasalanan ng custodian yan. Kaya anong treatment yan sa shortage? Ultimately, receivable from the custodian. Okay? Now, adjusting entries. So, gawa natin ang entries. Unahin natin yung sa petty cash. This one. Diba year-end na, hindi na replenish? So, gawa natin to ng entry. Okay. Adjusting entries. First, unreplenished petty cash vouchers. Okay. So, refer to the details, So, refer to the details of the vouchers. So, yung cash advance, advances to officers and employees. The rest, expenses. Or, pwede nating specify. Okay? Postage, transportation, repairs. Okay? Or simply, expenses. Credit, petty cash fund. So, hindi na replenish yung petty cash at the end of the period. So, dapat in-adjust yan. Okay, next. In relation to the postage, as noted earlier, hindi lahat ito nagamit. I-set up natin yung unused. So, the unused portion, debit, unused postage, credit, postage, expense. Okay? Then, yung cash advance ni JR, na-liquidate na ito. Yun nga lang, partially. Kaya, gawa natin ng entry, yung liquidation. Okay, debit, as noted earlier, the correct travel expense. So, ito yung correct travel expense. Yung isinoli ni JR, debit, petty cash fund. So, ito yung total amount liquidated. Credit, advances to officers and employees. So, notice, di ba 14,000? May balance pa na 480. Yan yung nakita natin kanina na unliquidated cash advance. So, may balance pa. May receivable pa from JR. 480. Okay. Now, other adjusting entries. Yung kay Robert. Naalala pa ba si Robert? So, unreceipted, unrecorded. Okay? So, adjusting entry. Debit, cash. Credit, AR. So, ito yung collection without OR. Okay? So, normally, if unreceipted, unrecorded. Okay. Yung unclaimed salaries. So, debit, cash. Credit, salaries payable. Okay, so unclaimed salaries. Yung shortage. So ultimately, receivable yan from the custodian. Okay, so receivable from custodian. Now, hindi natin ma-split yung short as to petty cash and cash. So just credit the general cash account. Okay. Then, not part of the cash on hand, pero adjusting entry din, yung unreleased check. So, yung payable kay German Corporation. So, drawn by the company. So, hindi pa na-release, nasa drawer pa. So, debit, cash, credit, accounts, payable. Pero ito, wala siyang kinalaman sa cash on hand. Okay? So, cash in bank siya. Okay, now, some pointers in the audit of petty cash. Okay. Number 3. Who is responsible at all times for the amount of the petty cash fund? Of course, kung sinong custodian. Letter C. Kaya pag may shortage yan, accountability ng custodian yan. Okay, so 3, letter C. Number 4. What is the effect of not replenishing the petty cash fund at year-end? Okay lang, wag i-replenish. Pero dapat may adjusting entry. Okay? Kaya lang, hindi na-replenish, hindi gumawa ng adjusting entry. Ano ba normally yung adjusting entry? Debit expenses, credit, petty cash fund. So kung hindi nagawa yung entry, anong effect niyan? Okay, expenses under, cash over. So that's letter C. So yan yung effect pag hindi na-replenish at hindi nagawa ng appropriate adjusting entry. So cash and expenses are misstated. So in particular, cash over, expenses under. Okay, 4, letter C. Number 5. An impressed petty cash fund would least likely, least likely ang hinahanap, be used to pay, unlikely, bravo, usually check yan. So, typical payments from the petty cash fund, yan. A, C, and D. So, least likely, bravo. Okay, next. Problem number 3. Kung kanina sa problem 2, ang ginawa natin ay cash count, audit of cash on hand. This time, problem 3 will audit cash in bank. As noted earlier, okay, ano nga usually ang concern sa cash? Whether cash is existing. And how to verify existence of cash. So the audit procedure will depend on the nature of cash. For cash on hand, katulad sa previous problem, the best procedure is inspection. Cash count. So cash count is inspection of cash. So yan ang best procedure to verify existence of cash on hand. For cash in bank, the standard procedure, confirmation. Okay, so bank confirmation. And also, request bank recon from the client. Then, review. So, yung bank reconciliation prepared by the client, yan ang starting point yan, sa pag-audit ng cash in bank. So, i-review yung bank recon. Tapos yung bank balance, i-confirm. So, take note ha. Okay? Yung procedure, review lang ha ng bank recon. Hindi dapat auditor ang gumagawa niyan ha. Ang gagawa ng bank recon, client. I-request yan sa client, i-review ng auditor. Kasi pag si auditor gumawa niyan, siya din ang nag-review, mako-compromise ang independence ng auditor. Ano nga tawag doon sa threat na yon? Yung auditor yung gumawa, siya din ang nag-audit. So, tawag, self-review threat. Yan. So, kaya yung mga schedules, yan, yung mga bank record na yan, client prepared yan. Okay? Now, problem number 3. Ito yung background. So, this is audit of cash in bank. Okay. You are conducting an audit of the entity for the year ended December 31, 2020. Take note, yung internal control procedures daw surrounding cash transactions were not adequate. As a matter of fact, yung bookkeeper, siya din ang cashier. Okay? Anong na-violate nga dito? Na cardinal principle ng internal control? Segregation of incompatible duties. Magkasama yung nagre-record, isang tao lang yung nagre-record at yung nag-handle ng cash. So pag nakita mo yung situation na yan, how will you assess control risk? Control risk is what? High. Okay, so you will place limited or no reliance on the internal controls. Okay, tapos notice, yung bookkeeper, cashier, para kompleto na, siya na din ang gumawa ng bank recon. Yan. Baka naman iisa lang yung empleyado dyan. Siya yung bookkeeper, siya yung cashier, siya yung nagpe-prepare ng bank recon, siya yung guard, siya na rin yung janitor. Okay, so one-man army. Yan. Okay, and notice, ang ginamit pa na method, bank to book. Okay? So, syempre, for financial reporting purposes, ang kailangan natin, adjusted. Kaya supposed to be, i-review lang natin ito. Kaya lang, for this problem, tayong gagawa ng bank record. Kasi kailangan natin yung adjusted dyan later. Okay, now, number 1. Adjusted reconciling item. This one. Deposit in transit. So, ito yung requirement sa number 1. Okay? So, let's start from this one. Ito yung unadjusted. So, based on the bank recon prepared by the client. So, unadjusted, given. Now, additional information. So, 4 yung binigay na info, 4 bullet points ang given dyan. Ang relevant dyan, yung last bullet point. Refer to the last bullet point. So, this one, the last bullet point. On December 31, 2020, the company received and recorded customers' post-dated check amounting to 50,000. PDC siya pero ni-record na as what? Collection. Kung yan ay na-record as collection, ibig sabihin na isama yan dito sa in-transit. Okay? So, book error. PDC received, erroneously recorded as collection. So, deduct natin yan from in-transit. Hindi siya dapat part ng deposits in-transit kasi hindi pa yan collected. Okay. No other reconciling items, no other adjustments noted. So, as adjusted. Okay, number 1, bravo. Okay, so 1, bravo. Okay, number 2, adjusted outstanding checks. Go back to the bank recon prepared by the client. Unadjusted. The relevant information. Third bullet point. So, refer to the third bullet point. This one. Included in this amount, so in the list of outstanding checks, were the following. A. Check payable to a supplier dated December 29. Okay, 14,750. Na-release lang siya January 5. So, ibig sabihin, unreleased pa yan at December 31. Okay? So, no payment yet. Ang outstanding, paid na yan sa books, hindi pa paid ng bank. Ito, hindi pa na-release. Wala pang payment dapat sa books. So, hindi siya dapat outstanding. So, minus unreleased check. No payment yet. Not outstanding. Also, letter B, check representing advance payment to a supplier. 37 to 10. Post-dated. So, dahil post-dated, hindi pa yan considered as paid. Okay? So, not outstanding. Minus also. Book errors. Erroneously included in outstanding checks. So, nai-record na itong mga ito sa books as payments. Okay? Hindi pa na-release. Yung isa naman, PDC, kahit na-release na, wala pang payment. Okay, as adjusted. Okay, number 2, delta. Okay. Number 3, the adjusted cash to be presented in the statement of financial position. Okay, so we need as adjusted. Okay. So yung next requirement, shortage. Normally, bank lang ang gagawin natin. Okay, pag may difference man, follow the bank. Kaya lang this time, dahil may shortage requirement, gagawa tayo bank and books. So, prepare 2 columns. 1 for bank, 1 for books. Okay? So again, dahil may kasamang shortage requirement, okay, kukumpute natin yung adjusted balance per bank and books. At pag hindi the same, okay, masusunod yung bank, tapos any difference, short or over. Okay? So, adjusted balance method. Unadjusted, as noted earlier, refer to the bank record of the client and also yung first bullet point. Okay, per bank statement, balance. Per GL, balance. So, unadjusted. Now, reconciling items. Okay, as noted in number 1, go back to number 1. We noted a book error. And what's the error noted in number 1? PDC received. Erroneously recorded. So, nai-record ito as collection. So, book error, deduct from books. Erroneously recorded as collection. Okay. Then, after considering this error, na-compute natin yung adjusted deposits in transit. Go back to number 1. Okay, refer to number 1. As adjusted, add to the bank balance. So, the correct deposits in transit. Okay. Next, as noted in number 2, go back to number 2. We also noted errors. Okay, dyan naman sa outstanding checks. Book errors. And what are those errors? Number 1, unreleased check na i-record na as payment. So, dahil hindi pa na-release, part pa yan ng cash. So, add to the book balance. The other error, PDC issued na i-record na rin as payment. So, add to the book balance. These are what? Book errors. Book errors. Then, after considering those errors, na-compute natin yung outstanding checks as adjusted. Okay? Adjusted outstanding checks, deduct from bank. So, as adjusted, as computed in number 2. Okay. Now, other recon items. Refer to the bank recon. So, meron dyan, note collected by bank. So, credit memo. Note collected. Add to the book balance. So, credit memo. Note collected by bank. Okay, so wala na dun sa bank recon. Now, additional info. Second bullet point. So, refer to the second bullet point. Okay, so the cut-off bank statement showed a bank charge on January 2 for 30,000, representing correction of an erroneous bank credit. So, kung na-correct yan ng January, most likely, error yan in December. So, bank error. Erroneous. Bank credit. So, kinredit ng bank erroneously. So, the bank balance overstated. So, deduct from the bank balance. Okay? So, erroneous. Bank credit. Okay? So, na-correct siya January. Now, no other recon items noted. Get the corrected balances. Bank and books. Okay. As corrected, bank, books. Notice. Di ba normally, pagka na-account na lahat ng recon items, the same yan? So, ito yung situation na wala ng recon items, hindi pa rin the same yung bank and books. Again, in this situation, which will prevail? Bank or books? Presumption on evidence. External is more reliable. So, kaya yung balance per bank as adjusted, that's the adjusted balance. So, number 3, bravo. Okay, number 3, bravo. Kaya nga, di ba, kapag ang question lang as adjusted, hindi na natin ginagawa yung books. Kasi kung magkaiba, bank pa rin ang mag-prevail. Kaya kung adjusted lang, bank only. Kaya lang, dahil may tanong na short or over, ginawa din natin yung books. At anong ibig sabihin ng figures na yan? Itong balance per books, lagyan mo ng note. Yan actually yung cash accountability. Yan yung should be. Itong balance per bank, yan yung actual. So, actually, dapat ito yung cash. Kaya lang, nung i-check sa bangko, ito na lang yung cash. So, should be this one. Actual, ito na lang. So, yung difference, missing. Okay? And that's how much? 60,000. Estimated shortage. Okay? So, hindi ma-explain kung anong nangyari dun sa 60,000 na yun. So, estimated shortage. So, number 4, letter C. Okay? So, to complete the reconciliation as adjusted, bank and books. So, after considering the shortage. Okay, next. Pointers in the audit of cash in bank. Okay, number 5. As noted already, what is the starting point? Letter A. A bank reconciliation. Okay, from the client. Again, yung bank recon na yan, supposed to be prepared by the client, then i-review ng auditor. So, yan yung starting point for the verification of the balance in the general bank account. So, check the balances. Tapos, review yung mga reconciling items. Now, in relation to the recon items, number 6. Which of the following substantive audit procedures is, take note, most likely ang requirement? most likely to be performed by the auditor to gather evidence in support of the balance per bank. So how do we know kung tama yung balance per bank? So ang standard procedure dyan, letter A, confirmation. So magpapadala ng confirmation sa bank. Okay? So confirm directly with bank. Okay? So kaya lang take note ha. Siyempre hindi naman basta magbibigay ng information ng banko sa auditor. Okay, yung standard form na yan, ang pipirma dyan, yung client. Yung authorized signatory ng client. Okay? So, tapos, i-request na yung reply ng bank, diretso sa banko. Rather, yung reply ng bank, diretso sa auditor. Okay, syempre, hindi basta-basta magbibigay ang banko hanggat hindi authorized ng client. Okay? So, 6, letter A. 7, which of the following substantive audit procedures is, eto naman ang question, least likely naman. Least likely to be performed by the auditor to gather evidence in support of the deposits in transit. Ano nga uli ang nature ng deposits in transit? Naka-record na sa books as collection, as receipts. Hindi pa nakikredit ng bangko. Okay? So, alin dyan? Ang least likely, okay, na magagamit para ma-verify yung in-transit na yan. So, ang least likely dyan, delta. So, kasi yan ay recon item sa books, hindi yan sa bank. Okay? So, ito yung typical procedures para ma-verify ang in-transit. Yan, yung A, yung letter B, at yung letter C. So, basta ang bottom line dyan, ang concern dyan, naka-record na sa books as collection, hindi pa na-credit ng bank. Yan. So, walang kinalaman dyan yung delta. Kaya yan yung least likely. Okay, number 8. Which of the following substantive audit procedures is least likely to be performed by the auditor to gather evidence in support of, this time, outstanding checks? Ano naman ang nature ulit ng outstanding checks? Paid na yan sa books, hindi pa paid ng bank. So, ibig sabihin, hindi alam ng bangko kung may outstanding checks. So, kaya least likely, letter A. So, we cannot ask the bank about outstanding checks. So, hindi niya alam kasi nga, hindi pa na-present sa bangko for payment. Okay? So, the procedures yan. B, C, and D. So, concern dyan, naka-record na sa bank, sa books as payments, hindi pa paid ng bank. So, yan yung mga procedures. So, least likely yung letter A. Okay, number 8. That's the definition of letter C. So, tawag dyan, cut-off bank statement. So, partial period, okay, bank statement. And the related canceled checks, yung mga paid checks, duplicate deposit slips, and other documents included in bank statements, mailed by the bank directly to the CPA firm's office. Okay, so that's the nature of cut-off bank statement. Now, saan ginagamit yung cut-off bank statement na yan? So, dito i-check kung yung in-transit ba ay na-credit na the following period. So, dyan makikita kung yung mga outstanding checks paid already. So, kaya yung cut-off bank statement na yan, that's the question in number 10. Okay? So, primarily, anong purpose niyan? Bravo. Verify reconciling items. In particular, anong recon items? Deposits in transit and outstanding checks. So, doon makikita yan. Okay, sa cut-off bank statement. So, lalo na kung may suspicion na fictitious yung in transit. O kaya baka understated yung mga outstanding checks. So, pwedeng ma-detect yan. Okay, so 10. Bravo. Okay, next. Problem number 4. Okay, problem number 4. Ang main requirement dyan, cash shortage ulit. Okay, and to get the cash shortage, again, anong i-compare natin? Should be versus actual. Okay, at yung actual, yan yung adjusted bank balance. So, gagawa tayo dito ng bank reconciliation. Okay, so, yung number 2, yung requirement number 2, yan yung should be. So, establish natin yung balance per books as of December 31. At paano nga kinocompute ang cash balance ending? Beginning plus the receipts minus disbursements. So, this is first year actually. First year ito of the company's operations. Kaya walang beginning. So, to get number 2, simply receipts minus what? Disbursements. And one of the receipts, yung requirement sa number 1 naman. Collections. Okay? So, medyo reconstruction problem ito. So, correlation of the accounts. Okay? So, again, this is first year of the company's operations. Requirement number 1, collections. Okay? So, normally, to get the collections, okay, analyze the related accounts. Ano yung related accounts dyan? AR and sales. Okay, so AR and sales. Unfortunately, hindi given yung sales. So, kukomputin muna natin. At ito yung additional information. Okay. Refer to letter F, this one. So, we can use this one to get the total sales. So, yung gross profit rate daw, 120%. At ang basis, cost. So, pag na-compute natin yung cost of sales, okay, mako-compute natin yung gross profit. Makompute na rin natin yung sales. And how to get cost of sales? Okay? No inventory beginning. So, first year. So, we need purchases. Given this one. Nasa letter E. Okay? Purchases. 250,000. So, refer to letter E given yung purchases. At dahil nga walang beginning inventory, ito na din yung available for sale. So, given in item E, purchases, 250. So, that's also the amount available for sale. Okay, less inventory ending. This one. Refer to letter C. Ito, given siya sa letter C. Merchandise inventory at December 31, 30,000. Pero meron daw 5,000 spoiled. No resale value. So, yung 5,000 na yan, dahil wala nang marirecover, i-write off na yan. So, magkano yung adjusted ending inventory? 30 minus 5, 25. However, yung write-off na yan na 5,000, decrease in inventory yan, but not representing sales. Kaya para ma-estimate natin yung sales, ang i-deduct natin before write-off. Kasi yung 5,000, yung write-off, okay, decrease in inventory, hindi naman sales yan. Okay? So, kaya i-deduct natin yung amount before mag-write-off. So, 30,000. So, actually, anong ibig sabihin lang ng figures? Bumili ng 250. Hindi na benta yung 30 at year-end. So, available for sale, 250. Unsold, 30. So, the difference, sold. Yan yung cost of sales. Okay? Sold at how much? 120% markup based on cost. So, times 1.2. That's the gross profit. Kaya yung selling price, effectively, 220%. Okay? So, yung selling price, 220%. So, cost of sales plus the gross profit. Total sales. Okay? Minus yung hindi pa na-receive. So, accounts receivable. Given, this one. Nasa letter A. So, ARSLs had a total balance of 70. Pero yung 5,000 daw dyan, ascertained to be uncollectible. So, dahil uncollectible na yung 5, i-write off na yan. Kaya lang, katulad dito sa inventory, yung 5,000 kasi na yan, decrease in AR, hindi naman yan collection. Kaya para makuha yung collection, ang kailangan natin yung balance before write-off. Okay? So, ito yung total. At year-end, not yet received, not yet collected, 70. So, ito yung total, ito yung hindi pa na-receive, the difference, collections. So, number 1, letter A. Okay, so again, so correlation of the accounts. Next, number 2, cash balance at December 31. So, per books. Again, walang beginning balance. So, we need the receipts and disbursements. Okay. One of the receipts, eto na, na-compute na natin. So, unahin mo na ito. One of the receipts, collections. Okay? So, number 2, cash balance per books as of December 31. As noted in number 1, collections. So, identify muna natin yung mga inflows. This is first year of the company's operations. So, kapag first year, most likely, saan manggagaling ang cash aside from the collections? So, most likely, manggaling yan sa owners. Okay. Refer to the second paragraph. Ito yon, second paragraph ito. The entity started operations October 2. With the owners, ayon, binigay. Investing. Magkano in-invest? 150,000 cash. So, owners, investment. So, inflow, 150. Okay? Now, kapag kulang yan, normally, mangungutang ang company. Okay? So, refer to letter D, this one. So, loan proceeds. Magkano yung loan proceeds? Yan, 98,000. So, another cash receipt. Yan, loan proceeds. Okay. So, saan galing yung cash in this problem? Ano itong 414? Operating activities. Yan, yung 414, operating yan. Yung 150 and 98, financing. And again, what are the two types of financing? Equity and debt financing. So, ito equity financing, ito debt financing. Okay, so based on the limited info, wala na tayong makitang inflows. So, total cash receipts. Now, the disbursements. Okay, so the disbursements. So, typical disbursements, of course, this one, refer to letter E, payment for operating expenses. So, operating expenses paid given, 180. Typical disbursement. Operating expenses. Also, in letter E, as noted earlier, purchases 250. Pero ang kailangan natin, yung payment. So, the related info, this one, letter B. Suppliers unpaid invoices for merchandise total 15,000. So, 250 total. Still unpaid, 15. Get the difference. Payment for purchases. So, 250. Minus mo yung 15. So, payment. Okay? Also, in letter B, bumili yung company ng store fixtures. 50,000. Hindi pa bayad 5,000. Get the difference. So, 50,000 cost. Still unpaid, 5,000. So, the payment. Okay? So, what else? In relation to the loan, go back to letter D. So, yung proceeds, 98. Ang nabayaran na daw dyan, this one, 80. So, loan repayment. So, again, based on the limited information, wala nang ibang disbursements. So, saan naman ginamit ang cash? Itong dalawa, operating activities yan. Yan. Operations yan. Operating activities. Ito, investing. Ito naman, financing. Total. So again, yun yung tatlong activities na operating. Okay, so operating, investing, financing. At yan nga yung mga receipts and disbursements na yan, inflows, outflows, yan ang nire-report sa statement of cash flows. No beginning balance. Receipts minus disbursements. Balance ending. So, based on available info, ito dapat yung cash. So, number 2, delta. Ay, lagyan mo ng note ha. That is the cash accountability. Okay, so yan na yung cash accountability. So, yan ngayon ang i-compare natin doon sa actual. At saan makikita yung actual? Yung adjusted balance per bank. Okay? So, this one, go back to the second paragraph. As noted earlier, ito yung second paragraph. Given dyan yung balance per bank. This one. Okay? So, bank statement balance at the end of December. Yan. Ito given, yung sa bank. Okay? Let's start from here. So, balance per bank at December 31. The reconciling items refer to the third paragraph. So, nasa third paragraph yung recon items. This one. Okay. Examination of paid checks disclosed that the checks totaling 4,500 issued by the company in December presented for payment only in January. So, ibig sabihin, ano tong 4,500? Outstanding checks minus. Cash count of the cashier's accountability amounted to 5,000. You were told by the cashier that these were collections from credit sales on December 30. Dineposit lang January 2. So, undeposited collections. Add. Okay? So, balance per bank. Bank reconciling items. As adjusted. Okay. That's the actual. Okay? Pero as noted in number 2, based on the available information, ito yung should be. So, dapat 122 ha. Nung i-check sa bangko, 92 lang. What happened to the difference? Unexplained. So, the difference is what? The estimated shortage. So, anong possibility dyan? Ang possibility dyan, baka may mga collections hindi na di-deposit. Kaya hindi nakarating ng bangko. Okay? So, baka may mga collections hindi na deposit yan. So, na-misappropriate. Kaya nung kinompare yung books, okay, at yung bank, yan, merong nawawala. So, number 3, letters. Okay, so 3, letters. Yan, so shortage problem. Pero may kasama siyang correlation of the accounts. Now, other pointers. Okay, number 4. Okay, number 4. The primary, take note tinatanong dyan, primary purpose of sending a standard confirmation request to financial institutions with which the client has done business during the year is to, so yung pinapadalang form yan, standard yan. Okay, may standard format yung bank confirmation. So, bakit ba nagpapadala ng confirmation? Of course, primarily yan para ma-check yung deposit. Pero usually kasi, kung sa nagbabangko ang client, doon din siya may loan, tinatanong din yung loan details. So, kaya answer dyan, primarily, bravo. Corroborate yan. Substantiate information regarding deposit and loan balances. So, that's the primary purpose. Lagyan mo ng note yung letter D. Okay? Other information yan. Nasa bank confirmation din yan. Pero yan ay other information. Hindi siya yung primary purpose. Okay? So, primarily, bravo. So, also, additional info, yung letter D. In relation to that, number 5. Okay, number 5. The auditor should ordinarily mail confirmation requests to all banks with which the client has conducted any business during the year. Take note, take note. Regardless of the year-end balance. Bakit kailangan mag-confirm regardless of ending balance? Okay? So, as noted earlier, okay, hindi lang naman kasi yung deposit ang concern eh. Baka kasi merong loan. Kaya ang sagot dyan, letter A. Okay, so regardless of the ending balance, i-confirm yan. Because the confirmation form also seeks information about indebtedness to the bank. And in some cases, yung reply ng bank, doon madidiscover ng auditor, meron palang loan, hindi naka-record. Kaya ginagamit din yung procedure na yan to search for unrecorded liabilities. So, dyan pwedeng makadetect unrecorded loan. Kaya kino-confirm siya, okay, regardless of year-end balance. Okay, next. Okay, so yung next 2 problems, yan. Proof of cash. Yan, ito, expanded, expanded bank reconciliation. Okay, now, problem number 5. So, this is, okay, preparation of proof of cash. Now, ang proof of cash, just like bank recon, mental exercise yan. So, mental calisthenics yan. And just like bank recon, okay, so may 3 methods din yan. Bank to book, book to bank, and adjusted. Okay? So, kaya lang ito, medyo mahaba itong discussion yan sa proof of cash. Okay? So, baka mabitin tayo dyan. And, dahil meron ka pang klase mamayang hapon, baka masyado kang ma-mental exercise, kasi itong proof of cash, okay, so pag hindi sanay dyan, after one problem, parang hilo ka na dyan eh. Okay, dahil sa mental exercise na gagawin mo dyan. Okay, so dahil may klase ka pa mamayang hapon, okay, so itutuloy natin yan next meeting na. Yan. So, para tuloy-tuloy yung discussion ng proof of cash. Okay? So, hanggang dyan lang muna ha. Okay, hanggang dyan lang muna. So, next meeting on Saturday. Okay? So, tuloy-tuloy nating discussion. Okay, yung remaining problems, 5 and 6. Then, proceed tayo to audit of receivables. Okay? So, hanggang dyan lang muna. Mabibitin tayo pag sinimulan yan. Okay! So, again, early dismissal na this. Yan, early dismissal na. Kasi may klase ka pa mamaya eh. Live kayo mamaya eh, kay Sir Leomar. Okay, mabigat din yung topic ninyo mamaya. Okay, so mga test of controls yan. Okay? Sige, so again ha, we'll continue on Saturday. Okay? So, 5 and 6, then proceed to audit of receivables. So, para next week, ano na tayo? Investments na tayo. Okay, so hanggang dyan lang muna. Okay, so see you on, so see you next meeting yan. So, okay, so thank you for joining me ha, in this live lecture. Okay, so happy eating, rest muna, tapos mamayang 1:30 ha. Okay, so yung makeup class ni Sir Leomar. Okay, so thank you. Bye-bye.